My name is Frederick Kopper. I work for the World Health Organization in Geneva, and actually in this exercise I'm the exercise coordinator. So my role here is really to manage the exercise, and I'm the team lead of a team in Geneva responsible for simulation exercise globally, as well as after action reviews.
The simulation in fact started already 1.5 years ago. In February 2018 it was, we had a planning workshop and we decided to have this field simulation. It is mandatory from the regional contingency plan of the EAC Secretariat, and it is also a decision of the Sectoral Council of Ministers of Health, which is the EAC highest gremium for health issues. So they have advised the Secretariat to have a field simulation exercise at Namanga, the border between Kenya and Tanzania.
In WHO and actually internationally, there are different types of exercises being recognized. You have the discussion-based exercises, which probably most people know as tabletop exercises. And then you have more the functional exercise, what we call, or the drill types of exercises. And field exercise is actually the most complex exercise. It has a lot of resources that it needs, a lot of time and a lot of planning.
This cross-border simulation exercise is so far the biggest exercise that has been conducted in this region, and we have seen the importance of making sure countries collaborate. They have that responsibility to make sure that they coordinate with their neighboring countries and try to prevent or protect their neighboring countries while ensuring that they also deal with those emergencies at source.
We ran it over 3 days. The first part was really about warming people up, getting people used to the idea of what a field exercise would be about, taking them to a field location, enabling them to work with a singular group, and then coming back and then working together in order to develop material for the following days.
Simulation. Kenya farm correct? Yes, we are set.
The second day then we had a lot of moving parts. We had teams in remote sites, we had different parts of the organisation in different areas, and we also had a number of other field activities going on. So for instance, we had people working in local hospitals, we had people going around to the local slaughterhouses, we also had various rapid response teams in motion. And then day 3 was about drills. It was about getting people to actually undertake physical activities at actual locations, using actual material. So when you combine all of that, you've got a lot of things you have to organise, a lot of different parts.
Rift Valley fever in this case for us is only an example. We choose it because, like nearly no other infectious diseases, it gives us the opportunity to test at the same time animal health, human health, tourism, trade, and even climate impact. Rift Valley fever normally breaks out after a heavy rainy season, when the mosquitoes are many, and when they hatch and when they start infecting the animals. Then you wait for a while, 6 weeks later or so, you usually have the first human cases.
This exercise is really unique in multiple ways, because it's not just 2 countries. It has also the regional aspect with the EAC Secretariat involved, as well as the cross-border element. We are now here at Namanga, where we are looking at the cross-border movement of goods, passengers. So in that sense, it's not just focusing on health. It has also all the other sectors involved, and that makes it unique. It makes it also very complex, of course. So in the different field locations, we have 3 different functions: the facilitator, the evaluator, and the liaison officer. And these people are really the eyes and ears on the ground. Facilitator is really the manager of his or her site, his exercise site. That person is really in charge, and that person is also the only person that has a direct contact line with the control room. Then the evaluator has a specific task, which is to evaluating the different indicators. Then we have the third function, which is the liaison security function, and that's particularly important in a field exercise like this. Because we are in a field exercise with different locations, it attracts lots of people, outside people, local communities, but we also have observers, we have media, and really the function of this person is to make sure that those external people are not intervening in the exercise.
In this exercise, we have the health sector, we have agriculture and livestock, we have trade, we have tourism and wildlife, environment and natural resource, defense, as well as the community.
This is a very special occasion to us as WHO, mainly because this is the first time that we participate in a simulation exercise of this magnitude and scope.
Simulation exercises play a key role in the preparedness phase. They contribute to ensuring that public health emergency response systems are in place and can be operationalized during a real emergency. Simulation exercises are an important component of the WHO IHR monitoring and evaluation framework endorsed by the World Health Assembly in 2016. WHO is very pleased to see this simulation taking place at this time, and I encourage you all to embrace this opportunity for us to learn together.
The ongoing Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo represents a real risk, not only in the Congo Republic, but also to the neighboring states. Strengthening our level of preparedness and response, therefore, is a real critical, important activity that we must all undertake.
We have learned, I think, a lot in terms of how do the different countries, first of all, work together, but also how do the countries with the EAC Secretariat and the countries with different international organizations work together.
The exercise took us 1 year to plan, and the planning process involved different sectors from Kenya and Tanzania. So we did a training, and we were able to work with almost 37 participants from both Kenya and Tanzania to help us develop the simulation and actually implement it. We need to invest money and time to prepare this kind of an exercise. We had to plan for many months to make sure that every piece of information, every part of the exercise was well connected, and that our exercise was going to be successful. That when you develop such kind of an exercise, you need to ensure that you have the expertise who can guide in the development of the exercise and implementation. We worked with our WHO experts in designing the exercise, in making sure that it was technically sound, it was realistic. We reviewed all the materials based on experiences from across the world, and at the end of the day, we were able to implement an exercise which was able to test the capacities of the border region in terms of addressing a one health threat like Rift Valley fever.
I must say that it went very well. There was no interference. We had planned adequately, and the whole exercise went on very well. no interference caused.
Personally, and I think together with the rest of the team, we've picked a lot. You know, being the first simulation that we're having of this nature, I think it has opened a lot of things that were before not apparent to us.
This exercise, in my opinion, I think is timely. It has helped us a lot as an organization and as a country to identify the areas where we are strong and where we are experiencing challenges. It's giving us an opportunity to improve on the identified gaps.
Nimejifunza namna jinsi ya kutekeleza au kutatua changamoto hizi za magonjwa mpakani, hasa ya milipuko, kwa pamoja kama timu. Kwa maana timu, watu wa idara tofauti tofauti mnajumuika pamoja kuweza kushambulia tatizo ambalo linajitokeza kwenye eneo lenu na kufanikiwa.
What we as WHO always advise countries is to have an exercise program that builds upon each other. So we advise to start with the more simple exercise type, and then you progress. You progress in time and you build up the level of complexity and the level of different exercises. So you start with a tabletop, then you move to a drill, then you go into a functional exercise, and you end with a field exercise.